Hey, adventure riders! We are back again. At least uploading videos, but riding has been good here in New Zealand. And today we are somewhere in Central Otago, or not Central Otago, Otago, West Otago, I think, Clivedale, and we are gonna cross this mighty river over this old bridge. This is Clutha River, which flows from Wanaka and goes to Balaclutha. Quite a long distance it is. Yes, you can see one lane bridge, pretty common in New Zealand. That's our backcountry New Zealand at least. Well, life has been hectic lately, but still grateful that I've done some great riding this summer, as well as some interesting incidences that happened to me. Well, more stories later on. Just enjoy this ride. So this day was February 9th, and I was heading to an event called Dustybot, which is in Fairley. It's a mainly off-road, gravel road, motorcycling adventure event, and it's quite a serious one because in 3 days you have to cover 1,400 kilometers distance, mostly off-road, gravel road, and up in the high countries of Canterbury and Central Otago. Ooh, exciting! This is exciting. So here we go. Well, I always love taking the long way going to somewhere, and backcountry roads always my first option instead of taking the highway. The highway is too boring, especially if it's straight. Well, backcountry is winding here in New Zealand, and lots to see and smell. I was trying to visit this place at least again. It's called Tuapika River Mouth, or Tuapika Ferry Mouth. I have visited this place many times before, but I wasn't so lucky. So when I get there, it's always closed. This is quite a historic site because this ferry, or this pond, was created back in 1895 by European settlers here during the gold rush, I believe, to cross the river. They used to rowboat them, but this ferry was created to cater their need. Interestingly is that this pond is the only pond that's operating here in New Zealand, or probably the southern hemisphere, I think, and it's only operated by the river flow. It's totally green and eco-friendly. Okay. So as you can see, that's the pond there, and unfortunately it's closed again. Not so lucky. To give you an idea, this is how it looks like, for your reference. Looks cool, eh? Ooh. Alrighty, ho, we are back on the road again. We are heading to Lawrence and we are taking the back roads this time again. I think this road is called Tuapika West Road, and yeah, it gets me up the hills through Lawrence. Winding roads. Who doesn't like winding roads? Hey, it keeps you awake. And the scenery is quite good. I like this part of Otago. It's a different kind of scenery compared to Southland or Invercargill farmlands. This part is quite hilly and lots of features. Keeps you interested. Don't lose focus on the road though. Maggots on my right. They look like maggots, those shapes on the hills. It's quite amazing to think that sheep population in New Zealand is 23 million compared to humans of 5 million strong. Man,
Heading to that mountain.
This is my third time I've seen this lake. The first was on a full drive. The second was on a helicopter, a rescue helicopter. Today is on my motorbike. Back on the highway again, and this is Highway 87, a scenic route in Central Otago that leads you to Ranfurly. But before that, there would be Middlemarch, and then around there you could go to Naseby. It's quite misty this time of the day. It's pretty late in the afternoon already, and it's quite cool. Mystic Middlemarch, isn't it? This one's some old abandoned trains. Interesting, this is where the rail trail starts. It's quite an extensive bike or walking track that runs along the old towns of Central Otago. Beautiful. A little bit of showers here and there, but I'm loving the ride. I have skipped the usual Highway 87 from Middlemarch to Ranfurly and instead found this Hartfield Road on the map. It's just across the Tyree River and it runs along the Highway 87 from Middlemarch to up to the Highway 85. It's around 30 kilometers the distance on this one, but this is quite amazing. I love this part. Ooh, small gravel roads, countryside, rugged scenery. Amazing. Back on the highway again. I believe this is Highway 87, or if I'm wrong, this could be the Highway 85 that leads me to Ranfurly. Still a great winding road it is, and it's getting pretty late and the shower hasn't slowed down either, so pushing it a bit to get to where I wanted to camp. Expensive fuel here though, not really. So I arrive in Ranfurly almost 9 o'clock in the evening, and it's getting dark. It's getting pretty cold, and the rain hasn't stopped. So I just quickly fuel up, getting ready for tomorrow, and scramble to find accommodation around Ranfurly or Naseby. But it's a bit expensive, so the original plan was to camp near Naseby along the Dentist Pass Road, but I reached Naseby pretty dark, pretty cold, pretty wet, rainy. So I found this alley in Naseby, which is I said, oh, there's a bench in there I could rest, but later on I felt like it's quite creepy with all these old buildings and creaking sound. So I rode around in the dark and found this good place at the back of the toilet on the playground, pretty sheltered, and here it is. That was my night shelter. I arrived here a bit late in Australia and it was freaking raining. It was cold, but better than camping under the rain, fetching your tent under the rain. But thanks, children's playground, toilet, whatever, gave me a bit more comfort last night. So far, so good. Ready to ride again? Woo! Beautiful. Cold but beautiful.